For every sport, when you want to get well physically, they give you coaches, counselors, trainers, teammates, and yet when we go through those mental struggles, what's the support? We definitely could use more, and it cuts across every sport.
Mental health and wellness is a human issue that has always been present, yet it has not always been addressed. And where it has been addressed, in my opinion, hasn't been addressed fully or as meaningfully as it could.
Well, think about it. For guys, we're told early on, man up, be tough, be strong. And the message is, well, don't be weak.
As men in this society, men are incentivized and socialized to sort of pack it in, keep it tight, be tough. For a long time, there has been, and actually still to today, beliefs that there's something wrong with you if you have a mental health challenge or mental illness. That urban legend dates back prior to the 1950s.
We think about it in a way of, if you need help, then you're weak. And that's not true at all. It's a person who is strong that goes to seek help.
So when you see anger, when you see other outbursts, when you see decreased performance, when you see the proverbial slump, those are human smoke detectors. Clearly may be problematic for all sorts of reasons. I can guarantee you they are never the problem.
The things that we actually consider to be emotional stressors and to be mental health issues keep evolving as the science gets better.
In the world of professional sports, there's lots of distractions both on and off the field that really strong athletes need to find ways to navigate in order for them to be successful and have optimum performance.
The way that the sports world tackles mental health has evolved in the last, I would say, maybe 15 years, but it still has a really long way to go, especially when it comes to team help and team doctors.
The culture just has been one in sport of focus on training the body, and we've often neglected the mind. I think that there hasn't been a culture of training the mind for performance.
If they're already playing at a stellar level, were you to provide a place and a space for them to talk and to heal, you would in fact not be opening up Pandora's box, but a treasure chest of yet to be tapped talent and genius as athletes and as men and women.
There's been the idea of, okay, to play my best, I need to be focused and present. But there's been an expectation that our mind will be able to do so just because we've decided we need to be focused and present without training it to be able to do so, even though we would never expect that of our bodies.
The focus at the end is how do we become the best player that we can be? How can we be the best leader we can be? How can we be the best parent or spouse that we can be? And it really is taking care of ourselves to make sure that we can take care of the business in front of us.
So I think it is going to take national conversation. The word is going to have to get out. Examples of people coming forth, sharing their stories, and benefiting from the healing energy that that brings is really going to be an important domino to fall. And I think from that, many other systems are going to take root.
Vince Young was probably the person in sports who brought this most to the forefront. As an NFL player himself who actually quit the game because of mental health issues, that was probably one of the first times that we actually took this into real consideration in the sports industry.
There's been an added amplification and acceleration because influential figures in sport have had the courage to come forward and talk about it.
Sometimes you need a celebrity to shine some light on it so that you can really let people know that this is not just isolated to one person, but it's something that everyone goes through and should be taking care to make sure that they are focused and thinking about their mental health.
As influencers like Kevin Love are helping to beat down the stigma, more voices are opening up and starting to talk about the need, which allows for the rationalization of the investment in mental health resources.
Let me be the first to say that mental health does not discriminate in terms of the challenges we face as human beings.
I think that everyone should think about their own mental health, not just as leaders, but as an individual, whether it's in your professional life or in your personal life. It really is about the holistic sense of being a healthy person.
Tiger himself, as a way to kind of encapsulate all that he does, is focused on 3 pillars of strength: mindset, method, and mastery.
One of the wonderful things that we do at Headspace that can easily be implemented into other organizations is every day at 10 a.m. we do a group meditation in one of the main spaces in our office, and then at 3 p.m. we've created the time in people's schedules to do individual meditations. And I think that's something that every team and company can easily do and implement as well.
Here through the TGR Foundation, we actually have a course in mindfulness that we offer to our students that are in junior high and senior high, helping them really learn how to block the stressors and anxiety of life and focus on the things that they need to do.
With meditation, science has shown that it increases the thickness of the gray matter of the prefrontal cortex, which is where focus comes from, among other things.
It's important for organizations not only to talk the talk, but also walk the walk. And all organizations should embrace having a culture of wellness and making sure that the people that they support are being encouraged to be mindful and take care of their health. If you're looking to incorporate more wellness and mindfulness activities into your organization, the way that we started really was to conduct a lot of research and find out what best practices exist. There are some that are out there. Start small, ask a lot of questions, and realize at the end, just go into it with a very open mind, willing to learn.
My hope is through this kind of conversation, we can at least make it safe to talk about mental health, and then we can start finding what works and save a lot of people from suffering.